So, welcome to my Dandane channel. My channel Dandane. I sometimes make food and on this channel and do other things, and today we are going to be exploring something else. And it's a privilege to be able to do this video, and this is something I wanted to do for a long time now. The coffee is loaded and we are prepared to begin. It's a big subject we are taking on, and we will be discussing the great white sharks in the Mediterranean. Sometimes we will be jumping to other parts of the world uh, to maybe see a bigger picture. So let us start slowly but surely. It's a big subject. Great white shark, we can mention uh, first as a presentation. Here we have the great white shark, and uh, just to remind, there are also other uh, yeah, potentially dangerous sharks for human beings. And we can see we can do something here. Yeah, I can do it in another way, but besides the great white we have some other dangerous sharks, and we can write bull shark. Today's subject is about great white, but we will just name the other species for human beings. So we have bull shark, we have hammerhead, and we have the tiger. Those three besides great white are dangerous for humans. Certainly there are others, but I'm naming the main ones. So you can surely add maybe something else. So today's subject will be about the great white, and we have to make some kind of structure, and we begin with number one. Where are these great white sharks coming? And the answer is worldwide. Worldwide. There is no bigger limitations for this species of shark. It's worldwide. So worldwide. Most common. Where? Of course, I don't have to answer this by text, but we can just have it as a structure. Most common where? We have the map. So we can see that the usual places for the great white are in South Africa. We have the dangerous place of San Francisco for them. Then we have some other places. New Zealand, which is here, and Australia. We can also take the east coast of USA, Massachusetts, Boston area also. But the conclusion is that the sharks can be common worldwide. They are known as a passenger shark. So great white is known as a passenger shark. Which means there are no limitations. Um, Practically. So now we have covered a little bit about the world, and of course there can also be present in Mexico and South America. So absolutely. So it's a worldwide. They are present worldwide. Okay, so now our point of this little documentary is the Mediterranean. But it's good to see things in a global perspective also. So we have something to go on and draw conclusions from everything. Two countries I will be focusing on in Mediterranean will be Italy and Croatia. Um, so there we will be talking a little bit about the great white shark. If we take Croatia, we can see that, and we can ask our question in the beginning for Croatia. Is there any great whites in Croatian waters? The answer is they are extremely rare. That they are extremely rare doesn't mean that they are not present. So, if we look at the animal as an animal, there is one important thing that will decide how many sharks there are, where they are, and everything else. It's simple. Food. So, in Croatian waters, we have dolphins and we have tuna. So those two will be very important for the great white if it is in the Croatian waters. Uh, Other food examples for the great white are turtles. For the great white are turtles. So turtles, tuna, dolphins, and seals. In Croatian waters we will have tuna and dolphins. Since the market for the food is not rich, as for example in South Africa with all those seals. The food source will be scarce. The food sources will be scarce. There will not be a lot of food available. Which means that a great white visiting, if it is visiting Croatian waters, it will be hungrier. It's a scarce market for the food. And this can be witnessed by the fact that the attacks of the great whites which have been in Croatia have been fatal. Many of them have been fatal. Statistics shows that there are more fatal attacks than non-fatal. The attacks have occurred in 74. It's of course long time ago. In the vicinity of the city of Rijeka, which is a port. It has been suggested that the Suez Canal, there was an issue with the Suez Canal, and because of that, the African great whites came to Croatia. It's a Suez Canal, Suez Channel. This is the one they mean. There was something with this channel. So people mean that that the great white sharks came because of the issue with the Suez, this channel. However, there is another interesting, here we have it, Suez. Another interesting theory on how these animals can come, and those attacks occurred in 74. Let us look at that. When we look at the map of Europe, we can see that we have Sicily, and the scientists have found small baby great whites in Sicily, in south of Sicily. At the same time, big great whites were caught in Maltesian waters, Malta. And if I do believe correctly, there is a world record catch of great white, 23 feet. Oops. So 23 feet, that's a big animal. So it was caught at Malta. So the theory is that little baby great whites were caught by scientists or by fishermen, and then scientists they took over in the south of Sicily. which means that there is a nursery. There is a nursery for the great white shark. And if we look at the map, it's not a big deal for a great white to travel this way and up. So then suddenly we are talking about European great white, if the theory holds. Forget the South African great white. If the theory is right, forget it. There is a European great white. So now we can continue. So those attacks occurred in 74, and they were situated or happened near at the city of Rijeka, which is a port. And two theories: it is that the nursery for great whites in south of Sicily, or this Suez Channel. Something of those two. It can be Suez Channel. Why not? But we have also the other option. So. Uh, then 74 we have more attacks, and this attack took place at a place which is called Omish. That is a small place before Split. See if I can find it. Oh, it's after Split, sorry. In any case, yeah, depending on if you are coming from up or down. In any case, this attack took place at the same year, 1974, at Omish, this city. And we can see that many of these attacks had fatal outcome. And there is a reason for that also. We will come to that in this documentary. Fast forward to 2008. There we have an attack on diver. If I am not mistaken, at Vis. This diver was apparently in company, so he was not alone, and he was spear fishing. So spear fishing is chumming. So when you are spear fishing and you are alone, you are chumming. So basically, you are a target for the great white. So in this encounter, this person survived. I will not go in on any names or nationalities. I just want to say that this person survived, but I don't think that it was a clear case of that you will survive. So he was rescued, and he put up a fight, if I am not mistaken. He was a professional diver, maybe even military grade. Yeah, so we can see that these attacks in Croatia are mostly fatal, and this has an explanation. The explanation is that the food resources in Croatia are not as rich as those in south of Africa, for example, with these big seal colonies and I don't know what they have there. So the food is scarce here, it's less food, uh, and uh, the great white will adapt to that. and it will hunt, and it will often hunt to eat. So that's a question of clear predation. It's a predation. It's not mistaken identity. For me, at least, this is a predatory behavior. So that's that um, about those things. So can um, is there any great whites in Croatian waters? They are extremely rare, but they can come, is the answer. Um, we can take a short visit to the neighboring Italy. We can also see that Italy has influenced the coastal Croatia in many ways. Keep in mind that this video is not about scaring people away. Of course, you will visit Croatia. It is a beautiful summer country. It is just that that people are careful. That's the point of the video. In no way am I trying to, I don't know, say, oh, this is, I don't know. No, just it's good to be careful. That is the only thing. Uh, we are visiting fast Italy, and we can visit a place which is called Golfo di Barati. Golfo di Barati is a municipal of Piombino. And if we go to year 1987, there was an attack of a great white. And I will not go into any names and things like that, but there was a fatal attack. Uh, Apparently, there was a diver who was working on the seabed, either chipping away on a cable or spearfishing. Neither is good. Neither is good. Because we have things that attract the great white. We can continue with these big letters. 1. It would be blood in the water. That's obvious. 2. It will be shiny objects. 3. It will be when people thrash about. What I mean with that is when people are swimming and clapping with hands on the water. That's a seal behavior. Or maybe a fish in distress. 4. It will be rhythmic sounds. Like chipping away on the cable. This will travel through water, if I'm not mistaken, 4 times as fast as in the air. So sound travels faster through the water. Spearfishing. Why? Because when you are spearfishing, there is a fish oil and fish blood coming out. You are charming, basically you are charming. You are charming and you will be targeted. and can be you can be killed quite quickly with this. So here we have a couple of things that attract the great white. We can look at the list little bit. We named other dangerous sharks for humans. A little bit about where we can find the great white. Keep in mind, it's a worldwide. There are no limitations. We will come to that also why it can be worldwide. Most common where we went through it a little bit, and it was about how if they are usual in Croatian waters. We said that they are extremely rare, but they can come. We took the food sources, resources, and for Croatia it's tuna and dolphins. For the rest of the world it's turtles and seals. We had the world record catch at Malta, 23 feet of animal. We touched the subject of European great white with nurseries in south of Sicily. We have been covering the main the attractors and uh, all of these things here. Spear fishing. The spear fisherman looks like a seal, like a seal. He is alone and spear fishing, so he looks like a seal. Um, Especially on the surface. There is a discussion that you are much safer at the sea bottom as a diver or spearfisher than at the surface. So that's something interesting, that you can be safe at the bottom seabed. That's open for discussion, but it's interesting. Okay. So now we can go back to this Golfo di Barati. This diver was either chipping away or spearfishing, and there was a great white that came and took him. Uh, he swam to the surface, and the the shark made couple of rounds around him and then took him under. So that was a grisly attack of Piombino. Um, so now we can see the attacks, and if there is an animal that can be compared to the great white, for me it would be a land animal, strangely enough, and it will be a cat. It would be a cat. Because some behaviors that great white displays reminds of a cat. And couple of those are curiosity, importance of food, as for any animal, toying with the prey, ambush, stalk, attack. So those things with them, extremely curious. Food, as for any animal, very important. It will decide where they are, yeah, where they are breathing, where they are living, and everything. Toying with the prey, absolutely. Ambush, because they like to ambush the prey. Um, when they attack, it has been shown that the most common attack is from below. It's a vertical attack. And it is pretty natural that the attack is vertical, because if we look at the great shark, great white shark, we will see that the the upper part of the animal is black or darker color, dark gray, while the down part is white, which means that the shark is can be invisible because of that. So mm, it is a lot of things that are playing in the hand for the great white shark. They have lots of advantages. So for me, they are like a cat, a big cat, yeah. And we can see at the size. We didn't touch on the size, and unfortunately, this is a pretty describing picture of how big the animal is. So you see here couple of people that can take place in this measurement. We have the two darts, or this line, and a couple of people have place inside of this. So that's a big animals. So now we have been talking a little bit about the size. If you are interested in seeing how an encounter looks, if you had your own boat or you were out at the sea, you can YouTube search and write Cape Cod Great White. Try that. So you will see how it looks when someone sees, like me or you or a regular person, how it looks when you see them, and how the fish looks. So now we have a little battery of documents, but we are not finished yet. We can take some other things as well. Um, if we look at the animal as such, we can see that there are these big teeth present. Um, the picture is misguiding because we are only seeing one row of teeth, these teeth here, and there are 3 rows, I think, of these teeth. And as soon as one is lost, there is another coming, and it is substituting the fallen one. So the teeth are always present. The tools are always there to be used. Um, it is fantastic how the animal is designed, really designed for hunt. Uh, in this nose, or this front part in the nose, there are very sensitive sensoric organs that um, that pick up on electric impulses, even nerve impulses of the prey. So it is really fantastic how the fish is can can track can track is the right word, the prey from far distances. May it be sounds, may it be a fish oil or fish blood, may it be nerve impulses. Uh, the sensoric organ is present, and this shark has it. Great sensory capabilities. Great sensory capabilities means that it can discover prey either by sound, smell, blood, oil, um, sounds, everything from far away. Now we come to something even, yeah, also fantastic. Lots of things are playing into the great wise hand. It has lots of advantages. In this case, it will be the self-maintaining temperature. This means that the great white can keep its own temperature above the temperature of the surrounding water. So the great white can keep a temperature above the surrounding water. What does that mean? We'll see. Well, it means number one, that the shark can travel. To colder waters. And that's why I said to you in the beginning that it's worldwide for this shark. It's worldwide. This also means that the warmth that the shark can preserve leads to one more thing. And it is an increased metabolism. Which means that the shark has 45% of increase in strength or efficiency than a fish of equal size. So it's really fantastic. A lot of things are playing for the advantage of the great white. Keep in mind that the megalodon didn't make it, and the great white did, and does, and will do. There is a uh, theory that the great whites will grow in size even more, and it is possible that they once will be new megalodons, because the history repeats itself. That's why. The whales that we see today are enormous. Those whales many years ago weren't as big as they are today. So, since great whites don't have any serious threat, they will be growing bigger and bigger. I have to be um, fair to some other fishes, and these are orcas. One animal that the great whites are afraid of, it is orcas. I will just mention that. So, uh, because of this warmth, the great whites is in special place. This warmth makes it nearer mammals than a fish. So it's quite special that the great white has this attribute. So we have been going through some of this information about the great whites, and we can also visit some things that are fiction. For this purpose, we can go to 1974 or 5. We will see now. Yeah, 1975. Jaws. We can see that the movie Jaws has a couple of things that are interesting for me. Uh, there is a lot of fiction, but there is some things that are really interesting in this movie that they take up. So the one thing, it is in the beginning of the movie, when that swimming girl is attacked. There can be toying around with the prey. So that behavior, I can imagine that it can happen. That in any case the shark is toying with the prey. Another interesting thing they took up. It's sudden ambush attacks. And it is already with that swimming girl. Another thing that many people don't think about, it is the Tippet. Do you remember the Tippet? He was the dog. Tippet was on the beach, and he was barking. Tippet was barking. That bark is heard by the shark, and that bark presents seals, because the dogs can be seen as an ancestor. It's the same family. So it is very possible that the great white can interpret it as as an ancestor or as a seal, as a seal. Um, of course, when we look at the picture in the movie, the mouth is absolutely exaggerated. This mouth, the mouth is not so big um, at such a big animal at this length. So the mouth is made bigger. Yeah, of course, because of theatrical effect. But I will tell you, for me personally, they did a pretty good job with this shark because it looks hellish, like real. Just the exaggeration on that, but it looks real. Um, so that was a little bit about the fiction. So now we have been talking about this great white, and um, it has been shown that the great white is a great adapter to the environment. This is important. And will adjust behavior according to place, habitat. Yeah, residence. um, so now we have also this. Um, so now we have been talking a little bit about this animal, and I hope I didn't forget anything to say about this. Just thinking what more we can say about it. Yeah, slowly but surely we can come to precautionary measures. I'm a little bit unsure about I think it will be like this. Precaution measures. One thing before precaution measures, it is attacks. And where. Unfortunately, there are no limitations. What does that mean? That means that you can be taken in water if you are in water to your breasts. Because there is a case in, of course, South Africa, where there was a person, they were taken while they were in breast height of water, so it was not very deep. The size of the shark that committed this attack was like they described it, of dinosaur proportions. They said that it was like a bus. So there are no limitations um, for attacks. Unfortunately, the cases say that. Okay, so now we come to precaution measures. As I said before, this video was about jaws in Mediterranean, and um, this is by no means uh, something that is trying to scare you, or no. Absolutely, you should visit all these beautiful countries, but it's good to be cautious. That is the point of the video, just that you are cautious. So, precaution measures. Um, um, as I heard from my parents when I was little, citation. This is clear, so we don't have to uh, say anything more. Don't swim too far out. Avoid shiny objects. Spearfishing, be cautious, because you are charming the water with oil and fish blood. So basically, these spear fishermen are killing the fish, and they are having the fish around their waist, and that is a big no-no for that. It's very dangerous. On the on the surface, you will be looking like a seal, so you are targeted and can be quite easily killed. Um, one addition, uh, extremely rare in Croatia, but if they come, they are often big. There. So now we have a little bit about these precaution measures. Don't swim too far out, avoid shiny objects, and spearfishing, be cautious. Um, we have seen that I can just take the attacks. Um, a little bit more about attacks. It is that just to underline, it is that attacks can be very fast, and they are ambush attacks. And uh, about the size, I can also add a little bit. So maybe here. World record catch at Malta, 23 feet great white. We can add a little bit information for the size, and it can be that this animal can weigh between 2000 kilograms. And you can converse if you are from the States, you can converse it to these pounds and everything. So 2000 kilograms to 3000 kilograms. And if you get hit by something like that, then people have been telling that it is felt like being hit by a bus. So they are right. It is lots of power. Um, the jaws, you can see the pressure of the jaws. You can see if I am right. So I am finding that they have the power of 281 kilogram force per square centimeter in the bite. Yeah, 4,000 kilograms. Yeah. In any case, the victims that have been maybe taken a leg or something like that, they didn't even feel it, or it went very quick. So there is a lot of power in that, in the jaws. So the weight is 2,000 and 3,000 kilograms. I can mention that I was before working with trucks, just to give you an idea about the power of this weight. And I was working with these trucks, and there was a lift for the truck. And in my mistake, I made this lift a little bit gliding, so this weight wasn't stable. It was just when I began working with the truck, and this lift was going downwards a little bit, and I had a pallet with weight. Um, and this pallet, I think it was about 300 kilograms, so 280. When this pallet when it started to rolling, you couldn't stop it. It was a small tip. It was tip, a small tip on the lift, but when it started rolling, it took me with it. And I'm a guy with maybe, what am I, 180 pounds, but it didn't matter. So imagine this. So it must feel like getting hit by a truck. This is ginormous. It's ginormous. Just a little bit comparison. Uh, so the weight in moving. This weight for me was 300 kilograms moving, and this is 2,000 to 3,000 kilograms moving even faster. Because the shark can swim in 60 kilometers an hour. About 60 kilometers an hour. So imagine that, and imagine this weight. That's a lot. That's a lot of animal. So, so we can just go through it again. I mentioned some sharks that are dangerous for human beings. It's bull shark, hammerhead, tiger. We asked ourselves, where are the great whites? Where can they come? Worldwide. And why? We answered the question, the body temperature. We answered the question, most common where. We know that the great white is a passenger shark. So also that tells us that it can be present in many places in the world. In Croatia they were extremely rare. They can come, and they are often big. Yeah, something about food. World record catch. We talked about the subject of European great white. The attractors. Everything here. We had a comparative talk about a cat just because of these things uh, that they have. Mm, and the sensory capabilities, and they can travel to cold waters. We had this with important thing with warmth. That's very important. And the future. This is the future prognosis. So enemies are very few, but this is one that they are afraid of. Only one. Otherwise, the great whites are top predators and top of the food chain. In the sea. Top. We talked about the fiction, and some things are not so stupid. Some things are really interesting that I take up in the movie Jaws. We have this adaptivity. Attacks, unfortunately, no limitations. You can be attacked in shallows, not deep water, and you can be attacked in deep water. And we have the finally precaution measures. Don't swim too far out, avoid shiny objects, spear fishing, be cautious. So, that is a little bit about the great white shark, and very interesting subject. And my conclusion for this animal is that is this. Simply and clearly. So now we have a little bit about them, and Mediterranean. Extremely rare, but can come. And that's why it's good to be to be safe, to be cautious. So, really fantastic animal. What they can do is, yeah, it's incredible. Okay, thank you for watching my videos. My video about the great white. And I hope that you got some information from it. I can add one thing more about them. Different temperaments. Because it has been seen that um, some great whites that people were observing were having a real aggressive behavior. They were completely different from the other great whites around them. So keep in mind that there are different temperaments in this animal, moods. So, couple of conclusions. Designed for hunt, extremely rare but can come in the Mediterranean. For example, in Croatia, then. and different temperaments, moods. I will add a little bit more. Uh, Behavior adapted to surrounding. That is important. Why? Yes, because we have sharks in Croatia. Those attacks were fatal. So there is a lot of scarce food. There is not a lot of food resources. So the shark is hungrier. The white shark in South Africa jumps from the water because it's adapted to surrounding. There are lots of seals, and they jump for those seals in the air. So that is adapted. In New Zealand, the great white is hunting in packs, so there it has adapted to that surrounding. So always the great white will adapt, and that's why that's why the shark has been it lives so many years and has overlived the megalodon. It has survived what megalodon shark wasn't able to do. So behavior is adapted to surrounding, and its design is adaptable. That's why it survived through all these years. So I hope you like this video, and it's all about the information. Um, the information is very important, so that people know what is happening, what can happen, and yeah, today's internet is helping, so people are finding out things about, for example, this animal more and more. So okay, thank you for watching this video, and yeah, it's a very interesting subject. Thank you. Bye.